Hello, and thank you for joining me in a new video. I had a chance to try out the HUAWEI Mate XT, but unfortunately it happened when I was dealing with a sore throat. That's why you're hearing this AI-generated narration. Let's dive in. It's easy to say that this is the most innovative gadget of the year. It's quite astonishing that we can have a tablet within such a compact form. While the folding type foldables already gave us a larger screen experience, HUAWEI has taken it completely to another level, as when unfolded it offers a 10.2-inch screen. Another very attractive point considering what we had seen so far in other foldables is the thickness. Notice how it looks next to the Galaxy Z Fold 6 having the case. In both devices the thickness is very similar, with the big difference being that Samsung's foldable only has one fold, while Huawei's has two. In fact, without the case, it also shows a very similar thickness. There is no doubt that this is quite a feat of Huawei, although yes, they have not wanted to sacrifice a bit of the photographic system. So the camera module protrudes significantly. By the way, the design of this module looks very premium to me. The golden ring around it with several cuts gives it a jewelry look that imposes a lot. The faux leather back cover provides a soft touch, though personally I find the color choice in this brown with gold combination not to my liking. But that's just a matter of personal preference. To achieve the slim design, Huawei has chosen to integrate a single screen, a concept it had previously implemented on the Mate XS. This decision is somewhat daring considering we are all aware that foldable screens have the potential to be more fragile compared to traditional screens. In this particular instance, the screen is fully exposed, similar to a typical glass screen. This device I'm using isn't new. It's been used for 2 to 3 months. I believe that's enough time to observe some wear. And as far as I can see, it's just a glass with a few lines from wear, but it doesn't appear serious. However, I think this will be the smartphone's most delicate aspect. We will have to take care of falls and especially sharp objects, but I insist that it is a risk that Huawei has taken to achieve this slim design, and it will be important to see how other manufacturers' folding trifolds will be, but Huawei has all the credit for being the first to launch a device with this format. Notice how when folded, much of the right side is part of the screen. Something that looks futuristic, a bit strange for what we are used to. It's clear that this section is deactivated to create the impression of a frame. Interestingly, I believe they could improve it to achieve a more symmetrical bezel appearance, as the bezel on the right appears quite a bit thinner than the others. The included case does manage to protect this section, although in my opinion, it should have a slightly higher relief. This is because despite safeguarding most of the side, a portion of that curvature remains somewhat exposed to wear and tear. Interestingly, this case can also come in handy when unfolding the device, since being so thin it can even be a bit tricky to unfold it. In fact, folding and unfolding this device requires a good learning curve, as the last fold is in the opposite direction and is a bit difficult to do because it is so thin. But once you get used to it, it is much easier. Note that when fully deployed, its thickness is only 4.75 millimeters, which is impressive. Interestingly, you don't need to fully deploy it. It has 3 modes. Use it as a traditional smartphone with a 6.4-inch screen. Unfold it like a folding phone for a nearly square 7.9-inch screen. For more space, fully unfold it to 10.02 inches. And in this tablet format, you have enough space to open the applications and services you want through the web browser, as if it were a small laptop. So it looks like a very versatile device, despite the limitations that we all already know from Google. For example, in this case, through the browser, I open Google Drive, Google Docs, presentations and spreadsheets, and everything looks as if you opened it on a laptop. And you know, the fact that this tablet can actually be folded to fit right in your pocket is one of the things I truly love about this device. By the way, when you slide it into your pocket, it feels similar to other foldable devices, meaning it's a bit thicker than a traditional cell phone, but really, it's nothing too serious. In this particular case, only the camera module might stick out more than needed. Speaking of the fold marks, I'm guessing you've already noticed they're quite visible, especially when viewed from a certain angle. Side view, when you are looking at the screen from the front, can go unnoticed, so it is not something annoying. Also note how various content is able to adjust immediately to the folds you make, whether you want to use it as a cell phone, as a mini tablet, or as a full tablet. It also adapts to changes in screen size, which is a great advantage and results in a good experience, although I am sure that not all applications or games will be able to adapt to the screen size. The device will adapt right away, and it seems to be quite well optimized. However, where it doesn't appear to be as effective is in what some manufacturers call flex mode. By this I mean when the device is positioned in a semi-flex state. For instance, when it comes to the camera, the interface doesn't adjust in these positions to provide both a display area and a control area. Similar to what we observe in other foldable devices. It would be great if they could release an update to implement a feature like this. However, based on my testing, it doesn't seem to detect that in-between fold. What it does allow you to do is to fold to an intermediate level the last area of the screen. So you could use it as a stand to keep the mini tablet format held on a table, although in that case it would be more advisable to use its case, which includes a small stand to do this same action. If you use the screen as a base, you could wear it out even more. It also includes the special mode to use the rear photo system to capture selfies. In that sense, it does take advantage of the folding format. And while we're on the subject of selfie and front camera, a curious fact is that when you use the phone as a mini tablet, there is no front camera available. And as I anticipated a moment ago, in cameras, I love that Huawei has not made real sacrifices. It has an excellent camera system. Let's take a closer look at some examples without paying too much attention to the specifications. It's important to note that this reference is taken with the main camera, which, by the way, features a variable aperture. The colors, contrast, and detail appear to be quite impressive. In fact, when using the auto mode, it can capture photos with a resolution of 25 megapixels. When you use the 2x zoom setting, it applies cropping on the sensor while still maintaining very good quality, and once again, it preserves the color and detail excellently. Then I did the test with zoom 5.5x, which is directly the telephoto camera. Its aperture is f3.4, so it's not as bright. But I still found the result very good considering the sun was setting. I then tried the 10x zoom, and it still gave a good result. And I think the maximum zoom, where we still see very good quality, is around 20x. The maximum zoom is 50x, so it's not the best exponent in zoom. But for its format, it does very well. So far, this has been everything about our initial review of the HUAWEI Mate XT. We hope that it will eventually be available outside of China, as currently it is a device with official distribution limited to that region. I really hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you did, feel free to let us know, and we look forward to seeing you next time.